Hello and welcome to this session, and in this session I will be telling you how to write selection screen with different parameter types like radio button group or checkbox or list box or obligatory. These are the different types of parameter that you can use it in selection screen. So now I will be showing you one by one with the example on the system so that you can have a complete understanding about these different types of parameter. First, I'll be telling you about the radio button group. So this is my selection screen block and block A, and within this I will be writing this radio button parameter. So for that you should write like parameters, and suppose I'm writing a one value, suppose R1 radio button group, and I'm assigning that value into one variable, suppose RA, and we can give a default value for this R1. And now I want to create more radio button for this one variable RA. So let me just do that quickly. I will now copy it. Suppose I will make R1, R2 and R3 or R4. So, and you should not have a default for only one variable on one value, not for all, because since it is a group, so out of this group you should have default for only one value. So now I will save it and I will execute this selection, and let me execute this, and you can see that there are four radio buttons R1 to R4, and this R1 is having this default value, and you can also change it as you can like, but here the default is R1. And also in this parameters, like instead of writing 4 times this parameter keyword, you can also write only one time. So how can you do that? So simply you just need to remove this all these lines parameters, just remove like this, and you just need to provide a comma here at the end of this all lines. So you need to now check it and save it and execute it. So now also you can see this all this radio button from R1 to R4. So that's about this radio button. Now I will be showing you about the checkbox. So for writing the checkbox, there is a keyword called checkbox. So let me write it quickly here. Parameters. Suppose I'm writing as v name, suppose as checkbox, and here you can give default as you if you want to give checkbox. So let me now activate and execute. So you can see that this vname is having a checkbox here. So it is kind of a parameter if your program is ABAP true, so this variable can be selected as this checked. So that's about the checkbox. Now I'll be telling you about the list box. So similar to checkbox, so also we have the keyword called list box. So how to do that? Suppose I'm writing again parameters, and suppose I'm writing a vlist, suppose, and as list box, then you should write visible length, you can give the length of each keyword. Suppose I'm giving as 20. Now you should activate and execute. So now you can see that the list is popping up in your screen. But let me tell you that there is nothing defined inside the list so that you can select. For that you should write some more code inside this select, like select option, and there you have to define what you want to put in this v list. So that's a different kind of code, and I will show you in the next tutorial sometime. So now I will show you the last one is the obligatory default. So that is used for when you want to put some value by default and the code has to be executed by giving that obligatory value. So for that you should write like parameters, and now suppose you can write like again uh, material, and you should give the type. Suppose I'm giving as string, and for this obligatory you should write like obligatory. And when you are writing the obligatory parameter, then you should provide the default value, because obligatory meaning that you should have a default value here. So you should write any uh, you know kind of string here. So let me now execute and see that, and you can see this. Now this material is having a default value here. So that's the way actually you can write the obligatory default. So now what we have learned, just let me quickly recap this part. So we have learned about these parameters, and there are mainly four kinds of parameter types. One with radio button group, and the next one is the checkbox, and it uses for ABAP true or false function in your code. And the next one is the list box. This is very interesting because whenever you want to have multiple inputs, so you can actually select those data into your code and then you can execute further. And the last one, we have learned about this obligatory default. So this obligatory function is used when you want to fix a parameter using some value, like here this value. So that's the way actually you can define in selection screen. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and if you have liked the tutorial, please like it and comment below if you want to know more about it. And thank you for watching, and also please look into the other tutorials in the below description, that where I have given the links. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.